Hey, Coach. Thanks for joining me. Hit the like and subscribe button so we can help other coaches that like to run a ball. Now we're gonna go over the trap versus even front here, and we already kind of went over the backfield action and kind of the pros and cons of the trap in general, and they all apply to the even front. Now, the one thing that's a little bit different is we could trap a couple different guys. We could trap this first guy, and we'll number the defense lineman outside the center, one, two, when we're talking to the kids. We don't count the nose. So if we say like let's say 20 trap, if we were calling this a two back, if we say 20 trap, it's going to be the first guy outside the center. We say 22 trap, it'd be the first guy outside the guard. So we used to really be into those rules, and what it came down to basically versus even front versus odd front, both traps are the same. Okay. And the trap at zero became our number one call. We would just call 20 trap. So versus the odd front, it don't matter. It's the same guy. And versus even front, we're always trapping the first guy. And if that didn't work, we did have a call to go to the second guy. But what we would when we first started this thing, we would go, he would go first backer inside. All the rules apply. First backer inside, helmet in front of the eyes. Okay. We get two guys on this guy, or we can always work up third level. But if you have a wing, he can go third level. Okay. Or block out if that guy's a problem. But generally just first linebacker inside and stay in your track. If there's no linebacker, keep climbing. So and then we block back and then take a little depth step and bam. Okay. And we got everybody covered. And this thing will pop up in here. Boom, boom, we pop. Okay. And, depending on what the second level reaction is, sometimes they could even over pursue it and we pop out the backside. But that was it. And we had everybody covered. But it's become, in high school, guys became better at squeezing inside. So that became a little bit more difficult. So our number one way to run trap versus even was to pull the guard to influence. And I think, some years we might have said, release inside if possible, if not pull. But when we started adding that second guy, as we discussed in the last in the odd series, then we really didn't. We didn't have to worry about it. So we would just influence this. We run a lot of power sweep, and then we could block back here, okay, and then boom, this block became a lot easier, okay, and then we needed a second guy. You see on the side, we needed a second guy to get around for the weak side player, okay, helmet here, and and that's all she wrote. Now in this set right here, with the fullback this close, that's a little bit tougher. You have to kind of delay that a little bit, you know. So they delay that a little bit. So you have to work on the timing. Um, but if you're in the eye, I just wrote this up. Really the blocking is what I'm talking about, not so much the backfield or whatever offense you're running. When we were in the eye, we ran with one tight end, and then we would get a three. We really wouldn't need to. Let's go over that real quick. I don't want to backtrack too much, explain too much, but um, in case you're not following what I'm saying, sorry, here we go. So we would get like a one and a three, one technique, a three technique, um, be out there, and then we would need that second guy because this was easy. Boom, boom, get there quick as you can. Put your helmet in front of his eyes. Boom, okay, and then boom, put your helmet inside of him. So we wouldn't need that second guy in the eye. Okay. But we do like to run a lot of tight stuff. So when we're tight, we're here. Okay. And then we're gonna influence. We're gonna influence the trap. climb, helmet in front of the eyes. I'm not the best drawer with this mouse. Look inside, climb. If you prefer, you can get this guy. And then we're going to seal inside. You can pull this guy. You can pull the tight end for the second guy. But we would do, this is one that worked the best if we had the guys to do it right. And we'd bring the second guy from there. And he just like, he would take a little skip step. You know, the ball's being hiked and this guy's going downhill. So he could hit it pretty much right away. You know, I let the kids figure out the timing. If it looks bad, I'll say something. But you run it so much in practice, they figure it out. They know when it's supposed to hit. I just tell them, you know, slow to, fast through, because you don't want to hurry up and then have to hesitate. You want to, if there's any kind of delay, you want the delay to be early so you can be gaining momentum as the play develops. Well, anyways, that's basically it. If it's a trap of 0, 20 trap, or 30 trap, or 10 trap, whoever's carrying the ball, it's just you trap the first guy. If it's an even front, trap the first guy. And you know, you have to work on it depending on what you're running back here. But we just got to where we're influencing all the time. Uh if we need that, especially if we need that, if we were in a situation where we had that second guy, no problem. The second guy to lead through to get the backside linebacker, then you know, when we were back in direct snap, that second guy was a lot easier because he can come from a fullback. You could do it from the front side, like we discussed. A really good team does that. I didn't care for the fit because if this guy pressures the trap, you know, it kind of gets into his path a little bit, and it's just kind of awkward. Plus, guys like to read the fullback, but you know, guys have made it work. Or if you use your tailback for that weak side backer, or the tight end for the weak side backer, you know, you got options. So once we were able to bring that second guy, then it was a no brainer just to use this guy to influence. If you can't get the second guy there, if the fullback's close to the quarterback and it's going to hit quicker, then he's going to have to release inside to get that backer. So you're just going to have to do it, or you're going to, you know, trap the next guy out, which we'll go over in the next series, in the next part. So, anyways, and then all the other rules apply. It's first linebacker inside. Again, you could customize that based on what you're seeing versus whoever you're playing. But that just will that'll always get you to a good target. First linebacker inside. If they're going to the same guy, they could always, you know, combo off. But in this situation, we don't have to because we got the weak side guy taken care of. I don't like having, in this situation, the right tackle go to this guy. I don't want that backside linebacker to be his target because that's just a lot of real estate you got to go over to get there, and you're passing up a really important defender. You know, it's a lot going on, especially if this guy's in a inside shade. He might have a tough release in there. So we're bringing the tackle to this guy, bring him to the same guy, have the lead guy get the backside backer, and it just works out really well. Especially with this low influence right here. So all the same characteristics of the trap apply. You know, you're still running inside, so it can be a little tricky. Sometimes it don't pop. Some nights it's not going to work as well. But it's a way to really put a lot of pressure on the defense. They have to account for this play because it can hit big. It can hit for big gains. You know, and it's not even your primary play. You know, it's and they have to really worry about it. It slows their feet up. They have to account for it. If they don't, they're going to pay dearly for it. And then you still got even better plays that they have to worry about. So it puts a lot of pressure on the defense. We've had a lot of fun with it, and it's just seeing the guys go up through the middle untouched. When click, 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 all the pads hit their spot, hit their targets. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. And it's a dangerous web. We scored a lot of points on this play. So, anyways, keep an eye out for part 2. Thanks, Coach.